Hello, BookShark Bootcamp. It's your community manager, Jana. Today is our Wednesday monthly live. It's May, if you can believe it. For those of you who need to take a deep breath, I am here for you with that. Who could have imagined that either a year ago or even just 8 months ago, you decided to make BookShark part of your homeschool journey, and a journey it has been? I have some exciting news for our bootcamp members who are watching. Also exciting, we are streaming live on our main BookShark page. So hello to all of you customers or potential homeschoolers who are looking at BookShark and what we have to offer. Today's live session is with Katie, Nicole the Math Lady's lady. We're going to get to that and how many times I've called Katie Nicole because I call her Katie Nicole the Math Lady. More about that later. So BookShark is announcing a very exciting partnership with Nicole the Math Lady. What is Nicole the Math Lady? You're in luck because I've got Katie and she's going to talk about what Nicole the Math Lady is and who Nicole is. Our partnership with Nicole the Math Lady is so exciting because we know it is going to help our homeschooling families who choose to do math with BookShark, opening up a whole new world of what math could look like in your homeschool. Katie herself has a very personal journey with math and her homeschool son. And I never got the pleasure of using Nicole the Math Lady in our homeschool journey, but I have outsourced math in other ways. And I will tell you, I am a firm believer in finding the things that work for you to make your homeschool journey the best possible journey it can be. So I'm going to bring in Katie. We're going to get this started. And I really encourage you, if you have questions while you're watching this, please put them in the chat. Put them in the, if you're watching on YouTube, if you are watching our main group on BookShark's main page, or if you're in our bootcamp, I will try my best to pay attention to all of those different platforms so that we can get your questions answered. But do not despair. Katie and her team are also available to answer your questions if you guys come to something that you're not quite sure of and we didn't get to it in this very quick live. You can reach out not only to Katie's team at Nicole the Math Lady, but also our advisors at BookShark, since we have this beautiful partnership going. All right, you guys, I'm going to bring in Katie. Let's go.
Hi.
Hey, Katie.
Hello, lady.
So excited to see you. It's not been too long since we've actually been together in person, but being here today on this live has been like, I've been looking forward to it, the highlight of my week. So welcome.
Thank you very much. I've also been looking forward to it. And I'm so excited about this partnership because I feel like you and I have been co-workers for years now in terms of like going to conventions and seeing one another out there in the field. But to actually like finally bring our two companies together to work together is amazing. So I'm super excited about that.
I feel the exact same. And maybe my excitement is a little twofold. First, being in partnership with amazing companies and products like Nicole the Math Lady really excites me just professionally, but also personally as a homeschool mom who has struggled herself with the very topic that we're going to be talking about, which is math. Having this option for our customers makes me feel like we are just breathing fresh new life into options for families who choose to use BookShark, because there's this side piece now that we can see and say, hey, if you need help with this, here you go. So first of all, drum roll, please. What is Nicole the Math Lady?
So Nicole the Math Lady, if you don't know, is a program that we offer a variety of courses with. And Nicole, the Math Lady, the person, we'll just call her Nicole now. She has, for every single lesson that's in one of the curriculums that we support, there's a video that walks through that lesson in her own style, at her own pacing, with her own energy and everything. And she's just got a phenomenal personality, and just brings it to life without wasting time. So there's it's clear, and she's always clear and concise, unlike me, because I'm not a speaker. She's very clear and concise in her instructions and just helps bring that to life. So you don't have to do the teaching yourself, or your student doesn't have to read it and learn it themselves. or it can also be used in conjunction with your own teaching, etc. Everything's completely self-paced. You can, use it for every single lesson, or you can pick and choose where you need help. It's completely, we give it tools for you to use. So like I said, there's a video lesson that walks through everything. And then we also have online grading, which you still have to have the textbook. So what we have is based on 4 different math curriculums, and we can go back through that later. But you have to have the physical textbooks, and your student would still be solving the problems in the textbook like they normally would, but they can check their answers in our system. And I'll go into more into that detail, I hope to, later. But that's basically it. Video lessons and then online grading is what Nicole the Math Lady offers. And Nicole herself is just this phenomenal personality that when I started using her in my homeschool, she was the solution that I never thought I would be able to find in order to teach my son math. And she just has this like authentic, genuine, personality that just literally comes through. Pre-recorded videos. The Saxon ones are literally 10 years old now. And she's still like, kids actually feel like she's talking directly to them. And as a homeschool mom who had her in my living room for years, I was like, every time I heard that voice comment, I'm like, oh, someone's covering that for me, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it well enough at all, let alone nearly as well as she could. So it was like, just hearing that voice was like, oh, yay. So that's who she is.
I would agree that her personality really does resonate so well, not only with students, but parents. Having experienced other math programs online, my kids would come to me and be like, really? And I'm like, I know, but like, it's better than me trying to explain it, because it's not that I couldn't explain it. And believe me, I tried to explain it. And honestly, they could say the exact same thing that I did, but somehow in their hearing of it, in their processing of it, it just clicked better. And it could be my own math biases that did come across when I was trying to explain the different avenues of math or whatever we were teaching. And my kids would be like, I don't understand. I'm like, well, I'm speaking English, so I don't speak another language. Like I can't say it any other way. So to find someone like Nicole who can not only, even if she says it the same way, her delivery is so exciting. There's so much energy. I was just watching some of her promo videos before we started and on your guys' website. And I was like, I've been with her in person. That is truly who she is. There's no acting involved. There's no like, I will put my my Nicole face on now. And I do believe that that's one of the reasons that she is so successful. So in your own experience, kind of walk us through how you saw this program transform your homeschool in this particular subject.
First, is this live 30 minutes or an hour? I want to make sure.
Just 30.
Okay. I'm like, okay. So I homeschooled from the very beginning all the way through the end, and got to a certain point with math where I could not find the right program, and I kept trying all these different options, which is never a good approach. But by the time we got like to middle school and I could like literally see the end of, how much longer I had to homeschool my son, I was like, oh man, we got to figure this out. Because he wanted to go into science, and obviously math is very important. And I had tried so many different programs that I was messing him up. So I finally landed on what I knew would be the best fit for what he needed to do, which was Saxon. Love it or hate it, that's what I chose. I loved the idea of it, hated the way it looked and the way it felt, and it's just so dry and boring, etc. But I knew that approach was what he needed. So literally decided on it, ordered the book, got the book in the mail, opened it, and started crying, because I'm like, I can't, like, there's no way I can successfully deliver to him for him to be able to want to do it and do it successful. And he sure as heck can't do it on his own. And then in some Facebook groups, somebody mentioned Nicole the Math Lady. I looked her up and I was like, oh, now we can do it. Because she, just like Jana said, her delivery, she's not trying to entertain at all. So like I said, she's not wasting time. She's not like juggling and trying to like keep your kids' attention with like random things. She's literally just delivering math, but clearly and concisely, and in a way that speaks to the vast majority of kids. So that's how I found her. Once we started using her, it was literally like I said, every time we turn on a video, or I could just hear David turn on a video, in the other room, I'm like, oh, I know that is being taken care of. I do not need to worry about how his math is being delivered to him, how he's learning his math, whether he's learning his math. And then with the online grading, I knew instantly how he was doing, and I can look it up. And I'm also, I mean, the parent still gets to be in complete control of it. Like, we give you the tools to use. You can use what you want. You can turn it all the way over, but you're still responsible for it. We're not giving you like a formal grade. But just knowing that there is someone who, you know, has that taken care of for you, because math is a sticking point for a lot of families, and BookShark has a phenomenal program for all the subjects. And then obviously they offer math, but without the extra support that some families really feel like they need. And sometimes the support you need is not because, like, I can do math, like Jana said, I can do all the math and I can explain it in a way that makes sense to me. But for whatever reason, my son and I were like this when it came to it. So just because you can do it doesn't mean you can teach it. And sometimes you also just need to like outsource some pieces along the way, because at some point kids can get tired of hearing from mom for everything, especially when it comes to math, because it's like there's a lot of right or wrong going on in that, right? Where it's not reading stories and discussing things, it's like right or wrong. And so you're like wrong, 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 wrong. I think most kids would much rather hear that from somebody else, or at least parents would like to have them hear that from somebody else. So it's not them being the bad guy. So it was game changing, absolutely game changing for us. Like, I was literally like, either we need to send our son to school for math, or he's not going to be successful in what he wants to do, which, by the way, he just finished calculus in college and got it like a 98%. So what we did worked. So yay. But
of course he did. David, if you're watching, congratulations.
I did say he got that in chemistry also, but it's okay.
Your mom's not ratting you out at all on this slide. I think the thing with math, because what you can do, like you said, if you're talking about subjects that you can just read about and discuss, and if a child gives an incorrect answer, you can immediately kind of redirect and go, well, or it's more like this. It's not like wrong.
Right.
Red mark, strike through.
Right.
And even with writing, I found, this is my own personal journey, I stopped grading my girls' writing as they were progressing through with BookShark, because I wanted them to love the writing. I trusted the process that we had, that they would get there. I didn't want to just shut them down with the negative. Unlike math, you have to correct what's wrong immediately, or you will not be successful as you move on. It's totally different. So to have somebody else and have that emotion removed from it, the Nicole's grading system doesn't see when a child is like, oh, I got those wrong. It's not emotional. And with all the emotions that comes with parenting in general, in this day and age, and then choosing to homeschool, why not remove what you can in a way that is beneficial for both parents and child? When you were experiencing Nicole the Math Lady, the one math that she offered was Saxon. Tell us how that has evolved over the last 10 years.
So you're absolutely right. When Nicole started, it was just Saxon. Like I said, she's had it for 10 years. And that's all that she's had just until last year. And I'm going to go back to like pivot to something that Jana said in the beginning. It's like, she's never used Nicole the Math Lady, or I don't think you ever even tried Saxon, but it's like, we're all about Jana, BookShark, you know, everybody who's in this homeschool field who really understands that we get to and need to choose what works best for each of our kids. We at Nicole the Math Lady, firm believers that Saxon is not a good fit for everybody by a long shot. I mean, at all. Like, Jana can tell you, I spent more time at conventions talking to customers. I'm like directing them over there and over there and over there, because what we offer only fits certain people, or what Saxon offered only fits certain people. So in the last, to help with that, because Nicole really does have an amazing way about her. And it like would hurt me to be able to say, people would say, I want Nicole because she sounds so good and she's like so lively and whatever. I'm like, yeah, but Saxon's not going to work for you. And no matter how amazing Nicole is, she can't make Saxon the right math if it's not the right math for you. So last year we added Singapore dimensions. So we've got that from 1st through 5th grade. And we are working right now to add RightStart Math and Math-U-See. So we have, we're in the middle of a huge expansion, and we'll have RightStart and Math-U-See available this fall. So now we've got, and I like to line up on my, and you know, it's going to be at FPEA this week. or next weekend, whatever, come and see. Like, I like to line them up, my bookshelf, because it's like a spectrum. It's like Saxon's down here and RightStart's down here, and then the other two like fit in the middle, because they all have something fabulous to offer specific students. And between those four, I feel fairly confident that there's a good fit for most people. Still may not everybody, but there's a good fit, because they're all four very well established, extremely respected curriculums that have a long history of, proven results. So they've all got pros and they all have cons, and they're not perfect for anybody, but they are good. There's something for everybody there.
And I think, again, what distinguishes math from the other subjects is you can have a subject like history where, like at BookShark, literature-based, it's stories. Sure, you can do some different activities with that. Drawing, if your child is into that medium, you can bring in YouTube videos. You can actually have hands-on as you're going through history, but it doesn't change what you're using. The methodology doesn't change. You can just add different activities. In math, the methodologies do change because the way brains work are not the same when computing numbers,
Absolutely.
when looking at the different mechanisms of what math is. And so having different options like the four that BookShark carries, another major announcement, we now carry Singapore Dimensions, partly because of this partnership with Nicole the Math Lady. But we've had people ask us for years, would we carry that one? So now we have these options. We always knew that people needed different options for math. So to find Nicole and partner in this way that say, hey, what we already know were our best picks, I guess, now we can see that here this professional in math, teaching math, agrees with us. And now she's offering these videos that go with it. Because let me tell you, we tried Singapore when we pulled our oldest out of school because that's what they were using. I was completely lost and I was unwilling to learn a new method. Math was not my favorite subject to begin with. So I was like, let's go to Saxon. It's more traditional. I understand it. It's how I learned math. My older two were fine with it. When my younger started to come up, I don't know, she just kind of got lost in it, and the tears, she would cry. And so we tried a program where it would grade it and kind of teach it. And she still was like, what? So then we tried a different method. We went to Math-U-See. She excelled. One night at dinner, she looked at my husband and she said, I can do math now. Like, she was so excited. And that, as a homeschool parent, will tell you, there's like, that is it. That's like the gold standard. So then as she started to get into high school, it was like, that's not quite the fit that she needed anymore. And so we outsourced to a different math. So yes, we have had a math journey for sure with my youngest, who has homeschooled the longest. Not only does this program offer the teaching and the grading, but what are some of the other perks of having this as your main math source, I guess?
So in addition to the videos and the grading, we also have extra problems that you can pull. So if you find that your student is struggling in a specific area, which in Saxon is very easy to identify, and the other programs it's a little more tricky. But if you see that we're struggling somewhere and you just want more practice on that, we've got extra practice problems that you can assign directly from our system. We also have, at any time as your student is in, like, we call it, you get assigned to a course, they can go and access any of the videos in that course at any time. So they could be on lesson 90, and they're like, ooh, I don't remember how to do that from lesson 12. They can just click the link and go back and watch lesson 12. So you can always access anything in there. If you, say you were to join us today, to start using Nicole the Math Lady with whatever curriculum you're using, and you're almost done with it, you could finish that course with us now, and then you could actually go in like in the fall and just go back into your account and reassign it, because you get access for an entire year. So we're very, very flexible, and we truly are trying to give you the tools that you need so that you and your family, your student, your family and your student can be successful in your math journey. We've got reports. Every time an assignment is completed, you get an email saying, Sally did this. This is how well she did. This is what she needs to work on. What you do with that is completely up to you. And then you can also always go into Sally's account and pull up all that information. So it's all stored right there. For myself, I didn't assign grades for my son until high school, kind of middle school, but really just high school. And what I would do for math is I would literally just go into his account and I would pull up his test score. So I just chose the test scores, and that's the grade that I would give him. Again, like I also mentioned, it's completely up to you. So if you're familiar with Saxon, there's all different kinds of assignments. You can say, I want him to do this one and this one. I don't care about the investigations, or I don't care about the tests or whatever. You can also select which problems you want. You don't have to do all 30 when it comes to Saxon, or if you're familiar, Jan, that's the face. Yes, that's love or hate Saxon, right? You can do just the evens or just the odds. So it's completely in your hands how you want them to do it. Like for Singapore Dimensions, they've got 3 levels in their assignments. I forget what it's called, but it's something basic, something, and then challenge. And so like you can say, we're not doing the challenge problems. Those are too much for us. So like cut those out. We literally only grade, and I use that like that because we're really not grading it. We're just assessing how they're doing it and then giving it to you. We're not giving you a grade or giving your student a grade. But we literally only look at what is submitted. If you only do every 10th lesson, I will say that's probably not the best way to learn math. But if that's what you do in our system, it doesn't matter. Our system will just record whatever it is that you're submitting. So to add, video lessons, the online grading, extra problems, and just, to me, it's like just the flexibility of tools that you can use to your advantage, and just to give, a successful math journey. And parents, I know Jana has seen it, like kids will come up to the booth when Nicole's there, when she's not traveling this year, just FYI, you can't see her. But like when kids see her, they truly feel like they are meeting their very own teacher. She's walked, she's on a pre-recorded video. She's never seen these kids, but it's the highlight of her year to be able to see them. So the kids love meeting her, but it's the parents. Because I know I was there, when I see parents, like they'll be crying. Moms come up and crying literally, like, you saved our homeschool. And that's truly how I feel, that like my son would not be where he is today in college right now, doing a great job, if we had not discovered Nicole the Math Lady, because I could not do what he needed to do with math. So she was a lifesaver for us, a total game changer for our homeschool.
I mean, we could stop right there. I mean, what more testimony do you need? Right. But we will continue, because I have a few other things that I find really interesting, especially in this coming of AI and in the day and age, and things that are just changing in our world. I noticed that there's a drill team option.
Oh, yes, thank you. I forgot about that. Yes,
on the website. So go ahead and quickly address that, and then I'm gonna share why I think that's super important.
Perfect. Thank you. I totally forgot about that, Janet. So Drill Team, which is completely included with every purchase. Drill Team is a program that Nicole developed to teach math facts, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, to teach them in a fun, multi-sensory approach, because we're firm believers that math is a whole lot easier if you just know those math facts. Some, not everybody believes in that, but like, believe me, if you're doing algebra and you have to stop and think what's 7 times 5, the chances of you messing up that equation for algebra, it's exponentially higher. So just get those math facts memorized one way or another. But, flashcards don't work for everybody. Just like drilling on a piece of paper and timing you doesn't work for everybody. So this drill team, I know, I literally made David cry dozens of times with that. But drill team is this fun multi-sensory approach. It's literally like songs, there's dancing, there's like a physical piece. It's like, what's 7 times 5? And you do 35 karate kicks. There's digital flashcards, there's some digital games. And it's super fun. I personally believe that it's something that is fun enough, especially for the right age. I'm not saying a 14-year-old's going to want to do it over the summer, but if you've got that sweet, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade age, I think doing this over the summer is a really great option to do, because it doesn't quite feel like work. It takes like 15 minutes a day. And you just got to nail those math facts, and it's a fun way to do it. And that's included with every single course that we have.
So I've been on the fence about knowing your math facts, and I've heard kind of both sides.
Yeah.
And so I was just having a very practical conversation with my husband, and I said, what do you think about knowing your math facts? And to give an example, 7 times 5. Like I was like, do you know it? And he was like, yeah. And then he gave me the answer, because I knew it because, yes, it was drilled into me. I know my my math facts. And he said, I was at a gathering and it was for a birthday party, and somebody said that they were turning 49, and another gentleman at the party was like, well, I'm 27, and everyone just kind of looked around like nobody could figure out the age difference between the two. And my husband kind of looks around, and he's in mid-century ish. He looks around, he's like, well, this is what we like to call a simple math problem, people. And nobody even cared. Like, nobody was going to do it. And while that is like kind of silly, it's indicative to the fact that when we got away from these drills, when we don't know necessarily off the top of our head what these things are. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't value in understanding what you're drilling into your kids. Like, if I can just memorize numbers, but they actually don't make sense, I literally know what 7 times 5 is. Like, it's not symbols. It's concrete information. But I'm just amazed. And so we were kind of talking about it. I said, well, what do you think? Why do you think that's important? Because, you could pull out a calculator. He's like, well, you could, but nobody did, which was interesting. They were all just okay with it.
And they all had one in their pocket.
They all had one. They didn't matter. I said, I think this is important because the more and more we get away from common math, simple information, the more we open ourselves up to be cheated. I mean, I'm a little jaded, I'll admit. I have my own issues with like the world and where it's going, but I want to make sure I look at my pay stub when it comes in, and I know what I'm making and what I did. And I said to my husband, do you think our daughters even pay attention to their pay stubs? He's like, I don't think they've even looked at them, which our parents, they would be like, oh, people barely look at their bank accounts anymore. They trust that it's in there.
That's an excellent point, Jana, because if all the math is being done for you out there, or whatever's not being done you don't care about, you have no idea if mistakes are being made. And then even honest mistakes. It doesn't mean you have to be, ripped off on purpose, but honest mistakes. And you said something about AI. It's like, yeah, AI can do great math, but it's not perfect either. So it's like, you definitely want to make sure you're coming from a place where you have at least an idea of what the answer should be. And again, the math facts, learning how to multiply and why you're multiplying and dividing that's going to be done in every single curriculum, and it's going to be done in a different way based on the curriculum that you choose. But most curriculums don't take the time to make you memorize them. And again, we could talk about whether you feel like you need to memorize them or not, but it definitely makes math easier if you have them memorized. And then what Jana said, also helps understand math in the real world quicker and with more authority and more, you don't need to trust what's happening, what they're saying. You can do that quickly in your head. And again, yes, if you can, do stuff on paper or whip out your calculator, great. But if you aren't going to do that, then you just got ripped off, $10 for parking or whatever it is. So that's a good observation, Jana.
It was just mind blowing to me as we had this conversation. And, I'm at a place in my life, in my homeschool journey, that's coming to an end, as yours has come to an end with your son now being in college. It's like we look back and we think, oh, did what I accomplished in my homeschool and on our journey matter? And I think it's moments like that where I'm like, yeah. It does matter. The simplicity of the things that are at the foundation maybe get lost in this age of tech, but it is important. And so as we wrap up this live, I'm actually going to share my screen to show people where they can find Nicole the Math Lady on BookShark's website.
Oh, I've never seen it. Okay.
So here we go. Here is the BookShark's website. You will go to the search bar, put in Nicole the Math Lady. Here is the price, whether you purchase it from us, whether you purchase it from Nicole the Math Lady. This is just an easy way as you package your all subject package with BookShark and put in your math. You will just simply add to the cart. It will ask you for an email because that is how we will coordinate with Nicole the Math Lady's website to get you access, to get you what you need. You don't have to know what math you're going to choose right now, or when you just decide, I know I'm going to get A math with Nicole the Math Lady. If you're ordering with BookShark, you probably already have an idea of what you're going to be putting in your cart. but it's just a link, and then you'll be able to access Nicole the Math Lady's website and be able to go in, like Katie said, and customize and do all of those things. So it is very simple. You can see that it's showing on here her original, the OG, the Saxon. She has added the Singapore dimensions. Then coming soon will be the Math-U-See and the RightStart Math. One other quick caveat about Math-U-See, since we had used it, I thought, Katie, and correct me if I'm wrong, and we kind of laughed about this, those videos that are for the original Math-U-See videos were actually to help parents teach the math to their children. I just sat my kids in front of the DVD. I thought that was just the math lesson.
I did too. I absolutely did. And I like had a thing with Gretchen from Demi yesterday, and we talked about it again. It's like those videos were not made for kids, but I had David watch them too because that's what he started with. So
yeah. So the more you know.
Yeah.
Coming from the homeschool moms who graduated kids, like, well, we didn't know, but now we know, and now we're sharing. And so the other thing that I think is super important, because I do think it comes up just in our minds, Nicole the Math Lady has partnered with these with Math-U-See, with RightStart Math. And again, those are companies that we've been partnered with for years. We're super excited, but they are authorized by these curricula companies for her to do this. And seeing that those, like going back to Math-U-See in particular, seeing that the videos that they did have, because homeschool is transitioning into a more independent student-led learning on a whole, now Nicole is directing those videos to the students versus how they were originally produced, which was for the parents. So I think that's just an important point. And to have RightStart, you guys, this is phenomenal, because we will even tell people we've been trained by RightStart in their product, and we'll say this is parent intensive. This is created for parents to do most of the work, all of the work with their child. So for them to see the evolution as well of homeschool and ask Nicole to come in and create these videos to help them teach their students with their methodology, I just feel like it's like a match made in heaven.
Me too. Like I'm excited about all of them, and RightStart is not one I ever even tried with my son, but like I'm so excited, like extra excited about that relationship, because what they offer is phenomenal, but it is, like you said, it is very intensive. And so for them to finally come, like they approached us, they're like, oh, obviously this is not what was originally designed with this, but we know that families now need it. And I know that too, because I would hear it sitting at the booth at conventions that I love RightStart Math, but I can't do it now that I have 3 kids or whatever. So I'm super, like, I think this is going to be a really helpful thing for them as a company, and for families to be able to continue with what works well for them. I'm super excited.
Yeah. And again, it just happens to be that BookShark felt like these were the top choices that we wanted to offer. So again, we're super excited. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this last half hour. I hope that you did get some of your question answered. I did see we had some comments. I didn't see necessarily anything with any questions, but I implore you, reach out to our customer service, reach out to Nicole the Math Lady's customer service. We will get those questions answered for you. Come to see us at Florida Parent Educator Association FPEA convention. It's going to be next week. Katie and I will both be in Orlando, so we're super excited about that. Come by and say hi, and just to encourage you to continue on your journey and know that even when it gets hard, you have support. You have support for people who have been on the journey personally with their own children, with themselves, and now are turning around and hopefully giving a handout to those who are on the journey, starting themselves or in the middle. So Katie, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you guys, until next time, bye-bye.